My beloved child. Pause for a moment. Something unusual is already unfolding around you, and you almost missed it. There was a conversation, not planned, not expected, and suddenly, your name appeared in it. Not casually, not randomly. It carried weight, a tone, a presence that shifted the entire energy of that moment. Don't skip, because what was said in that space is not ordinary. Picture this. Voices moving back and forth, people exchanging thoughts without thinking too deeply, and then, without warning, someone mentioned you. The air changed, the rhythm slowed, even the silence between words began to feel louder. Why? Because the way they spoke your name was different. Stay till the end, something huge is waiting for you. At first, it didn't seem like anything significant. Just another sentence, another passing mention. But then, something in their voice revealed more than they intended. A layer beneath their words, something they couldn't hide even if they tried. And here's the part no one tells you. Not everyone who speaks about you reveals their truth directly. Some hide admiration behind casual tone. Some hide confusion behind silence, and some reveal everything without realizing it. So what was it this time? A question was asked about you, not a simple one, but something deeper, something that made everyone pause before answering, and the answer that came. It wasn't expected. Don't skip, because this is where everything begins to shift. The person speaking didn't rush. They took a breath, as if choosing their words carefully, but even then, something slipped through. They said something about you that no one in that room could ignore. Not because it was loud, but because it was real. And when truth enters a conversation, it doesn't knock, it echoes. For a second, no one responded. No one interrupted. It was as if the entire space leaned into that one sentence. Have you ever wondered what people truly say about you when you're not there? Not the surface, level talk, but the moments when honesty quietly appears. This was one of those moments. Stay till the end. You might miss the turning point if you leave now. What made it even more powerful was who said it. This wasn't just anyone. This was someone connected, someone who sees more than they show, someone who understands more than they admit. And when they spoke your name, it carried a meaning that went beyond words. There was a hint of realization in their tone, like they had just understood something about you, something that had always been there, but unnoticed. And suddenly, the conversation wasn't about anything else anymore. It became about you. Don't skip, because the next part changes everything. One person in the group tried to laugh it off, to move the topic forward, but it didn't work. The energy had already shifted too deeply. Another voice joined in, softer, almost hesitant, adding a detail that made things even clearer. And now, the picture was forming. Not the version people casually see, but the version that only appears when someone speaks from a place of truth. What they said next. It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, but it was undeniable. They spoke about something you did, something you may not even remember fully, but it stayed with them. Why did it stay? Because it meant more than you realized. Stay till the end, because this is leading somewhere important. You see, sometimes the smallest actions create the deepest impressions. And in that moment, your presence was being felt, even in your absence. The room grew quieter, not out of confusion, but out of understanding. And then, something unexpected happened. The person who started it all paused again, as if deciding whether to reveal more, or keep it hidden. That hesitation. That tiny moment of silence. It held everything. Don't skip, because what comes next is not what you expect. They looked around, measuring the space, sensing the weight of what had already been said, and then they continued. But this time, their voice was different, more certain, more real, and what they revealed next. It didn't just change the conversation, it changed how people in that room began to see you. And maybe, just maybe, it's about to change how you see them too. Stay with this, the next moment is where the truth begins to unfold. Something shifted the moment they chose not to hold back. And if you listen closely, you can almost feel it. Because what came next wasn't just another opinion, it was a revelation that had been waiting for the right moment to surface. Don't skip, this is where everything deepens. They leaned slightly forward, as if the words they were about to say mattered more than anything else in that conversation. And then, without raising their voice, they said something about you that no one expected to hear. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. But it carried a truth that silenced the room. Stay till the end, something huge is waiting for you. They spoke about your presence, not just what you do, but how you make people feel. And in that moment, it became clear, they had been observing you far more deeply than anyone realized. Have you ever wondered, who truly notices the details you don't even think about? Because this person did. And what they noticed, it stayed with them. Don't skip, you're about to understand why this matters. Another voice interrupted gently, asking a question, almost testing the honesty of what was just said. But instead of stepping back, they went further. They revealed something personal, something they had never said out loud before. They admitted that there was a moment, a specific moment involving you, that changed their entire perception. Think about that. One moment, one action, one quiet decision, and it stayed with them long enough to be spoken about in a room where you weren't even present. Stay till the end, because this is only the surface. The conversation didn't move forward, it went deeper. Now others were listening differently, not casually anymore, but with curiosity. Because when someone speaks with that kind of certainty, it pulls everyone in. And then, the unexpected happened. Another person agreed. Not loudly, not instantly, but in a way that confirmed everything. And suddenly, it wasn't just one perspective. It became a shared realization. Don't skip, this is the turning point. They began connecting moments, small things you did, subtle choices you made, things you might have forgotten completely. But they didn't forget. Why? Because those moments meant something more than you ever intended. Stay till the end, you're about to see the bigger picture. The energy in that conversation changed again, but this time, it wasn't quiet. It was powerful. Because now, your name carried a meaning in that space, a weight that couldn't be ignored. And then, the person who started it all, said one final thing. A sentence so simple, yet so revealing, that no one could respond immediately. They said, "You don't understand them the way I do." And just like that, everything shifted. Don't skip, because what this means is bigger than you think. That sentence wasn't just about you. It was about how deeply they see you. It was about the fact that while others may only notice the surface, this person has been looking beyond it, understanding parts of you that remain unseen. Stay till the end, something huge is waiting for you. And now, here's where it becomes even more surprising. Because when someone sees you that clearly, they don't speak your name lightly. They don't bring you into conversations without a reason. There is always something behind it. A realization, a feeling, or something they've been holding back, until that exact moment. Don't skip, you're about to feel the truth of it. The room didn't return to normal after that. It couldn't. Because once a truth like that is spoken, it lingers. It stays in the silence, it echoes in every thought that follows. And even after the conversation moved on, something remained unfinished, something unspoken. Stay till the end, because this isn't over. Because what they revealed wasn't the full story. Not yet. There is still something they haven't said, something they almost did, but stopped at the edge of revealing. And that hesitation, that pause, it's where the real truth is hiding. Don't skip, the next part is where everything finally comes together. Right at the edge of that silence, something almost escaped their lips. And that, almost, carries more truth than anything said before. Don't skip, because this is the moment everything starts to reveal itself. You see, people don't hesitate without a reason. That pause you felt, that unfinished sentence, it wasn't confusion. It was restraint. It was the weight of something real, something they weren't fully ready to expose in front of everyone. Stay till the end, something huge is waiting for you. The room sensed it too. Even without words, everyone felt that there was more. The kind of a more that doesn't need to be spoken loudly, because it already exists between the lines. And then, something subtle happened. Someone asked a question, not directly about you, but close enough to pull that hidden truth back into the light. Don't skip, because this question changed everything. It was simple. But why does it matter so much to you? That question didn't just land. It stayed, because now, the focus wasn't on you anymore. It was on them. On why they spoke your name the way they did, on why their voice carried that depth, on why they couldn't just let the conversation move on like everyone else. Stay till the end, you're getting closer to the truth. For a second, they looked away, not to avoid the question, but to gather something inside themselves. And then, slowly, they answered, not fully, but enough. They said, because they're not what you think. And just like that, everything shifted again. Don't skip, this is where the hidden layer opens. That sentence. It wasn't a defense. It wasn't an explanation. It was a quiet revelation. Because it means, they see a version of you that others don't. A version that hasn't been fully understood yet. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now the room was different. No one was speaking casually anymore. There was curiosity, there was tension, but more than that, there was realization. Because when someone says that about you, it means they've seen something deeper, something real. Don't skip, you're about to understand what that something is. Another voice, softer this time, asked them to explain. Not in a demanding way, but in a way that invited honesty. And this time, they didn't hold back as much. They spoke about your strength, but not the obvious kind. Not the kind people praise openly, but the quiet strength, the kind that shows up when no one is watching. They spoke about your patience, your consistency, the way you carry things without needing attention for it. Stay till the end, because this is building toward something powerful. And then, they said something that no one expected. Something that made everything clear, yet raised even more questions. They said, people misunderstand them because they don't stay long enough to see who they really are. Don't skip, because this changes everything. That line. It didn't just describe you. It revealed how deeply they've been paying attention. It showed that they've seen the parts of you that others walk past, the layers that don't reveal themselves instantly, the truth that only appears over time. Stay till the end, something huge is waiting for you. And now, think about this. Why would someone notice that, unless they stayed? Unless they watched, listened, understood, without needing to announce it? That's not accidental. That's intentional awareness. Don't skip, because the next moment holds the answer you've been waiting for. The conversation slowly started to settle, but something had already changed permanently. Because now, everyone in that room carried a new perspective of you. Not the surface version, not the quick judgment, but something deeper, something more real. And the person who spoke, they didn't say anything else after that. They didn't need to. Because sometimes, the most powerful truths are the ones that are left hanging, just enough for others to feel them. Stay till the end. This is leading to something bigger than you think. And here's what you need to understand. That conversation didn't end in that room. It carried forward. In thoughts. In reflections. In the way people now remember your name. Don't skip, because the final part will reveal what this truly means for you. Because there's still one piece missing. One final realization. And when it comes, you won't see them the same way again.